Hello everyone, this is a video about the, the Pennsylvania Senate primary that just happened 5 days ago. So let's get right into it. In the Democrat primary, as expected, John Fetterman is the winner of the Democrat primary. He will be the nominee. He won by over 30 points. He carried every single county, so it wasn't even close. And then for the Republican one, this is the very like nail biter one because this one hasn't been called yet. The map is quite evenly divided. McCormick and Oz are neck and neck. Oz is only ahead by about 1,000 votes, I think. So this is probably going to go to a recount. This is causing a lot of division around the GOP. Although they did say that they would unite for the general. And a lot of people are saying that uh, Fetterman has a chance of winning. Some people are even saying he's the favorite to win. And here's why I think that's really that's a lie. Here's why I think that Fetterman is not. I don't think he has a chance of winning. I think he's gonna lose by actually quite a bit, no matter who the Republican nominee is. If it's Oz, I think he's gonna lose by about 7 points, 7 to 8 points, because like any like regular type Republican, whether it's McCormick or Oz, Fetterman's gonna lose by quite a bit because he is a progressive Democrat. He is a Bernie bro. He supports Medicare for all. He supports the Green New Deal. And he does support some somewhat popular issues like raising the minimum wage, but overall he does support quite socialist policies, um, and that is not going to resonate well with voters in a red wave year. Why? Because the Senate. This is obviously going to be like this could decide this Senate election could decide who controls the Senate. If you look at the stats here, the Democrat Party has obviously overwhelmingly chose the progressive candidate. Progressives are making huge gains in the Democrat Party, and the so-called corporate Dems, they are getting brushed aside. But the problem is, Fetterman, he is too left. I believe he's too left-wing to win in a state like Pennsylvania in a red wave year. Uh, and because he is to the left of Joe Biden. Uh, Fetterman is to the left of Joe Biden. The Republicans are going to make it clear. A vote for Fetterman is a vote for Schumer as majority leader, and I don't think voters want that in a red wave here. And if let's say he picked up the endorsement of Biden, which is not good because Biden's unpopular in Pennsylvania. Then you got Bob Casey, and then you got the Democrats, most of the Democrats, progressives. But the problem is most voters in a red wave year are looking for conservative candidates. They want conservative candidates to win. They're not gonna, I find it very unlikely that they would vote for a progressive, right? A progressive when the guy in office, Biden, is unpopular. I find it unlikely because Fetterman has already said he wants to push his agenda even further. He wants to push Biden's agenda even further, which is why that's a good reason why he won the primary by so much. He is like he would be the dream candidate for like a blue wave, a blue state, a blue wave, because he's very left wing on issues, and he would if he is in the Senate, if he were a senator right now, he would be a rubber stamp. I believe he would be a rubber stamp for Biden and Schumer. He would vote for everything they put up when it comes to eliminating the filibuster, Build Back Better, and raising the minimum wage, codifying Roe v. Wade, and all that stuff. He would be a rubber stamp. He would vote for all of that. And Republicans are going to make it very clear that that's what's going to happen if he's elected to the Senate. I don't think independents are going to want that, especially in a red election, in a red year like 2022. Now, for the Republican primary, I know that Dr. Oz, I know that Dr. Oz, he was pro Clinton. I think he was pro choice at once, and he has his histories might be kind of sketchy, but I think voters of PA will definitely choose him over Fetterman any day, right? Any day, because he has an R next to his name. That R is going to make him win, because voters want to see. Polls show that most voters want to see a Republican majority, and they don't want. They're not happy with inflation and gas prices and all this overspending, these spending bills. A lot of the policies that of the Democrats are very unpopular, and voters want a new breed. They want new blood in the Senate, and Fetterman is the opposite of that. Which is why if you look at 2016, right? If you look at 2016, Pat Toomey, most people expect is to flip. And you have Katie McGinty, who is um, wasn't really that appealing. She was, in my opinion, kind of a trash candidate, or actually a really trash candidate. Her speech at the DNC convention 2016 was very cringy. But Pat Toomey obviously isn't. He isn't that. He's just a regular, typical conservative. He obviously opposed Trump and his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. He voted to convict Trump as well, but he still he won by 1.4 in 2016, which was obviously a shock because you saw notable, like, credible pollsters expected this to flip. To flip. Almost all the polls showed Katie McGinty winning. But you can clearly see Pennsylvania is critical when it comes to deciding the majority in the Senate. And you saw in 2010 as well. This was a conservative wave, much like 2022. And Pat Toomey flipped. This was a flip. Alan Specter switched to a Democrat. Pat Toomey flipped the seat back. So you can see Pennsylvania Senate elections are usually quite close nowadays. And there's a lot of the stakes are very high. It could decide who controls Congress or controls the Senate. When you need to, if you want to win a Senate election in Pennsylvania, you need to be on track with the voters. Whoever the voters approve of, let's say the Obama's unpopular, he would obviously want a conservative candidate, like a Tea Party candidate, to run. Whereas Fetterman, he can't win when Biden is so unpopular and he's more left wing. The policies he supports is left wing, are extremely socialist and left wing, and he wants to double down. He can't win like that. So yeah, now we're gonna talk about the governor's race. Oh yeah, so which is why I think I'm clarifying any of the Republican candidates I believe would beat Fetterman. So we're gonna talk about the governor's race now. The governor's race, Doug Mastriano and won pretty handily by 24 points in the Republican primary. Josh Shapiro, he ran unopposed, so he swept the Democrat primary. And you can see some news networks are already calling out Doug Mastriano because for his role in the 2020 election. But I don't think this stuff is going to matter too much in the 2020 election. You can see NBC making this post, which is, I think, kind of ridiculous. I don't think this is going to matter in 2022. I think inflation, the economy, that stuff, the grocery prices, daily life stuff is going to matter. This stuff isn't going to matter at all. I think voters are going to just brush this aside And it doesn't matter if Doug Mastriano went to the Capitol on January 6th, or he tried to, he spearheaded efforts to overturn the results. It doesn't matter. Democrats are obviously going to try to fire this up, act like they're some defenders of democracy, of democracy. But the thing is, polls don't show that voters care much about this. Biden's approval rating and the economy are gonna outweigh every single issue. And it's not just Mastriano. You have a lot of candidates who are running, who obviously they say the election was stolen, and I think that may even help because it's gonna fire up Trump voters, Trump's MAGA base, and the Democrats, they're not gonna be able to convince people, sway people. So is this yeah. So this, you can see for the gubernatorial election, Josh Shapiro is not a strong candidate. He's not a strong candidate. Why? Because you can see in 2020 he won. I guess he won by a bigger margin than he won in 2016, right? But his opponent, like, I don't know who this is. No one knows who this is. His opponent was completely unknown candidate opponent, and he still didn't win by much. If he truly was a strong candidate, he would have won by like double digits. So yeah, um, you can see in 2016, Trump was on the ballot at the time, but he still won. I just don't think he's a very strong candidate. Attorney general elections aren't as polarizing as governor's elections. I think he would be the Democrat version of Bill Chouette, the guy who lost to Whitmer by like 10 points in 2018 in Michigan governor's race. He's not a strong candidate. You can clearly see he's not a strong candidate. For Pennsylvania, yes, I do know that Tom Corbett lost re-election in a red wave in 2014. But the reason why that can't be used as an argument is because, first of all, Tom Wolf, he was quite popular. Tom Corbett was very unpopular. Only 17% believed he was doing a good job. Only 20% believed he should be reelected. He was very unpopular. He was very unpopular governor. But the thing is, in 2014, it wasn't, these races weren't really like nationalized. It's not like Obama was. Obama wasn't that unpopular at the time. Turnout was really low, so and you didn't have all these crises like uh, gas prices, supply chain issues that would make a lot of these races extremely polarized in 2022. Because I think Mastriano is gonna push. He's gonna push Shapiro on the economy, on Biden's mismanagement of the economy. So as a result, I think Doug Mastriano may have a slight chance, or not slight chance, will pull off a slight victory, or maybe even a lean margin victory. So that's sorry if you might hear some thunder in the background. It's thundering here, but that is that's basically my conclusion for this video. I'll give you updates if we have a winner in the Senate primary for U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania. But that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.